Hi, my name is Katie Fair, and we are in West Sacramento to visit another EV enthusiast. Hi.
Hi.
Would you mind introducing yourself?
Yes, I'm George Parrott, and I'm a retired professor from Cal State University, Sacramento. We've lived in this house here in West Sacramento since December of 2007, and our previous cars were a 2006 Toyota Prius and a 2007 Camry Hybrid, which in 2011 we migrated to a Nissan Leaf and a 2011 red Chevy Volt. The Chevy Volt we now have is our second Volt, and we migrated last year from the Leaf to the Tesla,
All right.
which has been a great toy.
So, what sparked all that enthusiasm?
Both my wife and I are now sadly not running, but between us we've run over 300 official marathons, including Berlin and London. We've run 90-kilometer races in South Africa, so air quality is crucial to us.
All right.
And as soon as hybrids were available, we migrated to hybrids. As soon as the plug-in electrics were available, we migrated to those, in terms of the commitment to non-emission vehicles.
All right, so you're on the top of the game. So you are just updating as you go.
Yes, well, I think,
And
it's kind of our values that we're trying to have the least residual footprint that we can afford.
that's very commendable. Well, thank you.
It's also fun when you can have toys like this.
Oh, yes, that helps.
Yes. And
That's a beautiful
when
car.
we moved into this house, we'd been SMUD customers, which is a publicly owned utility in Sacramento for 38 years, and this area is served by PG&E. Our electric bills here for the identical use in our previous home in Sacramento proper were 4 times higher. By the third month in this house, we were getting bids to go solar.
All right.
So we've also gone solar PV panels, solar hot water, and as you walked around, we've also reduced all of our water use with the native plant and drip systems that are front and back in the house.
Yeah, that's very consistent, and it's just like feasible also.
It's
and
very
it's
easy.
yes. So, would you like to talk about this beautiful car?
Love to.
maybe?
You're going to have trouble stopping me. I have been a car addict since I was 11 or 12. I've subscribed to, as early adult, every car magazine, which means really for the last 45 years. In the early days, if people are really old, I was imprinted on the car reviews by Tom McHale in Popular Science, I think it was, which goes back 60 years.
Wow.
Okay. In my fantasy, at this stage of life, I always dreamed about having a high-performance Porsche. More realistically, thinking about the environment, anything that doesn't plug in just wasn't acceptable. So when the Tesla came out, I waited for reviews, external reviews, because who could believe that a startup company could produce a car that was going to be equal to, if not rated with, the best in the world?
Exactly.
And when those car reviews with Motor Trend, with Automobile, with the general media started coming in consistently positive, I ordered my Model S.
Good for you.
The beauty is that I don't have to have something that's noisy and spewing emissions, because on every on-ramp, when I'm merging with traffic, I'm getting a rush that's quiet and
Effortless.
incredibly adrenaline generating. Now, I drive reasonably safely, but there are those little moments with the Model S that compensate for things that it doesn't have. You notice that I went for the really tasteful, subtle color.
Yes, it's a
I
beautiful
added and
handbag.
swapped out the wheels because it comes with alloy wheels, And I mean, I love the car and I love neat cars, but I'm lazy. That means that I didn't want to have to be compelled to keep those alloy wheels clean. By swapping to black wheels, they just don't sow the dust and dirt as much. Inside the car,
It's looking impeccable.
we pretty much went with all the interior upgrades. So, you know, it's for a Tesla, it's a incredibly indulgent ride. On the other hand, I had my 101.5-year-old father-in-law in the car, along with his 93-year-old brother-in-law a couple weeks ago, and it was almost embarrassing because there's no grab rails in here for easing exit.
Exit
And that's really, you know, a thoughtless shortfall. There's no cup holders in the back. Not that I would let sloppy, negligent people take out food in the back, but it might be nice to have a cup holder back there. You know, if you're going to have a $100,000 car, my gosh. The sun visors in these things, you know, they're better sun visors on a Toyota Corolla. But
there's some shortcomings.
Yeah, it's not perfect. There's not enough storage inside. Of course, again, I'm a pack rat. But you know, maybe in the second generation, a lot of these things may hopefully get addressed. But once again, as soon as you get on the road and you push down on the go pedal, because we can't call it a gas pedal anymore. As soon as you push down on the go pedals, you pretty much forget about these little niggles.
And how it accelerates.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I have a friend with a 2009 Corvette Z06, which is the high-performance Corvette, and he's driven this. He says that if we were wheel to wheel at 25 miles an hour, unless he had a warning, I'd get to 100 before he would.
Superior, wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it runs out of that acceleration curve a little bit past 100, because these things are speed limited to this model to 125.
Yeah,
But it gets there incredibly quickly.
It is a rush.
Yeah.
Yes, a fast one. Yeah.
And it's incredibly stable, really smooth for road trips. We did a road trip to Portland and back without paying a penny because we used their supercharger network.
Awesome.
So it's amazing sort of corporate integration of the infrastructure and the vehicle.
Wow, that's an interesting.
Yeah, we had a debate and I lost on this. I wanted LTNG FST, lightning fast. My wife, who's a research biochemist, liked 0HC for the hydrocarbons. I lost.
No, it both won, I'm sure.
Both could be good. So this one, pretty obvious, electric power. This is our second Volt. We had a 2011 through the first 3 years of that lease and returned it, and we were so impressed that we went with another Volt. This backstory is kind of interesting, perhaps. I have not owned an American car since 1969. We've owned, and I get a new car every 2 or 3 years. This Volt, the 2011, was the first American car that I had owned in 45 years. And we were so blown away with the quality and the engineering that our experience was it was a no-brainer to go to another one. The Volt, if anything, is more sophisticated in engineering than the Tesla. It's got both the gas and electric powertrain, but the electric motor drives the car all the time, and when the battery depletes, the gas engine just kicks in seamlessly. We're getting, with this one, we're getting 42 to 46 miles electric range, and about 40 to 41 miles per gallon when it kicks on the gas. It's amazing. My wife actually likes this better than the Tesla to drive.
Well, it's more convenient, I guess, because of the absence of the range.
Yeah, she doesn't have to worry about that. Exactly. And
Yes.
you know, physically, this is a comfortably sized car. The big trauma that we've had with the Tesla is getting used to how big it is. It's a really wide car. This She's very comfortable, driving it into the university parking space, getting into her shopping and whatever.
And now, if you wouldn't mind talking about the setup with the chargers in the garage,
Sure.
it's impressive.
What we did when we first moved into the house is I wanted to, after those really exorbitant electric bills, I wanted to wipe out completely my electric use fees to PG&E. And so we went to our first system here, and essentially that outside will be 18 panels right off the edge of the roof. 2 years later, as we were anticipating going and getting the electric cars, and we actually flew to Tokyo for a weekend to go to the Tokyo Auto Show to see the introduction of the Leaf
That's quite
and
a
check it out.
commitment.
And so in anticipation of going to a Leaf and a Volt, I sort of did number crunching as to what the extra power draw would be, and it turned out I had to add a second inverter to go to 7 extra panels. So we now have 25 panels really into 2 systems through the 2 inverters, and we're beneficiaries of 2 complementary installed level 2 chargers because
nice.
since we were so early with our original Volt, we had VIN number 679 in the country. Sacramento was one of the DOE areas for monitoring research on charging. So we got this charger as a complement free with that first Volt. And then when we got the second one, there was a California program at the end of last year that was recycling every Tuesday, first Tuesday of each month. And we got the second charger with the second Volt. And we actually have hidden in the back of the garage in its original box still the Tesla charger, which will go into a new house that we're having built that we hope to be in.
We are under this quite impressive awning system.
Yes, when we moved into this house, since we're at the end of a development and there's absolutely no trees, no shade, all of our second-story windows were getting intense, summer sun. And so in planning this, I was insisting that I wanted the panels installed as an awning to give shade up there. I got a dozen contractors in to at least consider giving me a bid. Only 3 of them would even offer a bid because no one had done that kind of engineering.
That's too innovative.
I guess so, but it sure made sense because not only does it affect and serve as an awning, but the panels run cooler, so they're a little more efficient with the air coming up under and circulating much better than if they're just on the roof. There's actually 2 sets. There's the 18 serving as an awning. That second system of 7 panels is above them in a more conventional array on the roof. And then on this east end of the house and just above the PV panels are 2 solar hot water units.
Wow.
So we went to reduce our utility impact. We actually have, on an annual basis, we have effectively 0 electric use with a 3,000 square foot house and charging 2 cars.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's very nice.